Welcome to Sports Sunday. I'm Brooke Grimsley. The Cardinals welcomed a new member of the Redbird family last Sunday. Michael McGreevy was drafted in the first round of the MLB draft by the Cardinals, and Friday he made his first appearance at Busch Stadium to make things official with the Redbirds. With the 18th overall pick, the Cardinals selected right-handed pitcher Michael McGreevy. He celebrated with his family at their home in California on Sunday, and then this Friday he arrived in St. Louis for the first time. The Cards and McGreevy wasted no time officially signing him that afternoon. The details of that deal were actually revealed today. McGreevy and the Cards agreed to terms for $2.750 million. Here's what McGreevy had to say about his hopeful future home.
Got here yesterday, left my house in San Clemente at 3:45 in the morning. Been traveling nonstop, had physicals, medicals, paperwork to fill out, and then finally got a rest around got my first bite of food in me at 7 o'clock last night, so I was absolutely wiped out. But I mean, just to have a normal day here and just be inside the stadium is just beyond dream come true.
And you said you got a bite to eat. Did they give you some St. Louis favorites here? The toasted Ravs, anything?
Yeah,
like
my dad had that at lunch today before, and I tried a little bit of that. I had the gooey butter cake at dinner last night. It was just unbelievable.
Have you been to Busch Stadium before?
No, never. I mean, you see it on TV, you see the arch behind, it's super cool, but just being here today is unbelievable.
A few months, but how real is it starting to feel?
I mean, it feels real, but it just hasn't sunk in yet. Even draft day, I thought I was gonna cry and it just didn't happen. And I mean, be here today, it still just hasn't sunk in. It just feels surreal.
Any more messages, words from friends, family?
Oh yeah, I mean, I've had my buddies been texting me oh, send pictures. Oh, say hi to Aaron. I'm he's got a game to play. But I mean, it's been super cool to support with my friends, family, and everybody else. It's been awesome.
Well, hopefully they gave him some T-Ravs before he left. Well, on July 1st, college student athletes could finally start cashing in on their name, image, and likeness. The day that started, Mizzou offensive lineman and Francis Howell alum Drake Heismeier hit the ground running on the new rule promoting local restaurants.
My thought going into it, I was like, what the heck? Let's give it a try. What do I got to lose? It turned out working pretty well for me so far.
There's no doubt about it. Drake Heismeier is your prototypical offensive lineman, a big guy standing at 6'3" and 290 pounds, and he has a big appetite to go with it, which is why on July 1st, the day that college student athletes could start profiting off their name, image, and likeness, Heismeier started Number 69 Eats Local, promoting some of his favorite local eats.
And the reason I chose food is because that's something I'm comfortable with. I'm a big guy. I eat a lot, and I eat at all these local restaurants, and I'm in there and I know a lot of the owners. And I'm like, hey, you want me to give you a shout out or something? And they're like, yeah, that'd be great. And I'd love to, because I love the food. I love going there, and it's something I'm just comfortable promoting.
The Francis Howell alum's first stop was Mellow Mushroom in Cottleville. According to Mizzou's NIL rules, he can't wear anything from Mizzou, but he had plenty of support from Tiger fans.
Signed a lot of jerseys, met up with a lot of people, even people I didn't know that just followed me on Twitter, just random fans. And I'm just super grateful for all that.
There's still a lot of controversy surrounding the new rule, but Heismeier doesn't see the harm.
I think it's a really good thing, because so many schools and businesses are profiting off our own names, and we can't make anything off of that. And it's not hurting anybody. So I don't see what's so wrong with it.
Heismeier hopes to continue growing his following and his appetite.
Everybody in the football team is excited, and I'm sure everybody around the country is excited too.
Well, St. Louis native and five-time UFC champion Tyron Woodley is gearing up for his next showdown on August 29th against YouTuber Jake Paul. While this is the launch of Woodley's boxing career at age 39, he's confident heading into the ring with Paul. I spoke to Woodley via Zoom as he prepares for his next big fight.
So as we know, Jake Paul fought Ben Askren, another Mizzou alum like yourself. And that fight didn't work out well for Ben Askren, but I saw immediately afterwards, I think you had posted on Instagram, look, Jake Paul, if you want to fight me, I'm ready to fight you. Were you really the one pursuing that fight with Jake Paul, and what all made this come together?
Ben Askren actually said himself afterwards, he did a press conference, and who do you think Jake should fight next? It was kind of a strange question for the media person to even ask, man. Ben said, I think you should fight Tyron. And I'm like, that actually makes sense. And it was just him. He was just walking around like he was just some high and mighty fighter. And all these MMA fighters were scared to fight him, and he couldn't get nobody to fight him. And it was all cap. So in reality, I'm like, well, if you want to fight an MMA fighter, fight me then. So for me, it was just, I wasn't going out there and begging for the fight, but it was like, if you want to fight me, let's go. You had a lot to say in the backstage. We had a little, back and forth with some words at a point in time. And he said something like I was am I back here for clout. I said, no, I'm here to check your gloves and I'm not here for no game. So you can play those games with somebody else. I don't really play those games. And I think he recognized I'm serious about what I say.
And I saw too at your press conference that you said that you feel like you've always been a boxer in a wrestler's body. What do you mean by that?
I've always wanted to wrestle. I've always wanted to box. And wrestling was the closest I can get to making contact and being in kind of a combat sport. So I'm not saying I wrestled by default, but if I had to pick one growing up to pursue, boxing would have been my first choice for any sport, to be honest.
Is this fight more of maybe like a pride thing for you, considering that, a lot of people are saying, okay, you haven't been a world champion in a while. You haven't won this fight in a while. The UFC fights didn't pan out well in the last few years. And so is this more of a pride thing for you, or is this about launching your boxing career and just showing, hey, look, I may be 39 years old, but I still got it and I can still put this guy in his place?
I don't really even think about that because the days of this world are not likely to be the fighters of this world. You compete at the highest level and you're beating the top guys, and even when you take losses, you lose. I didn't lose to like the 20th ranked guys. I'm losing to guys that are either current champions or, contenders. So for me, it really was a mindset thing, and it was really just the love of it. I was kind of losing it. So in this situation, the passion, it's a whole different opportunity for me to turn a new leaf, for me to go out there and start a great boxing career, as well as, continue on with my mixed martial art career. So I'm not just doing a one fight thing. It's not just going out there to, get some hype and get out. You'll see me here for a minute.
Still ahead on Sports Sunday, a look back at a big milestone for Cardinals Hall of Famer Bob Gibson. That's next in the flashback.